It's the middle of December 1989. We're in the palace.
I'm Stefan. I'm a purple skittle. I hate pimp sand. Goodbye now.
Boom. Hit shot. Sniping's a good job, mate. It's challenging work, out of doors. I guarantee you'll not go hungry, because at the end of the day, long as there's two people left on the planet, someone is going to want someone dead. Not a crazed gunman, Dad. I'm an assassin. Well, the difference being one has a job and the other's mental sickness. I'll be honest with you. My parents do not care for it. Blokes would bludgeon their wife to death with a golf trophy. Professionals have standards. Be polite. Be efficient. Have a plan to kill every... Dad.
New Axe Fine Fragrance Collection. Smell irresistibly sweet for longer.
He's sweet. He's sweet!
With scents inspired by luxury perfumes.
New Axe Fine Fragrance Collection.
If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. Sun Tzu said that, and I'd say he knows a little more about fighting than you do, pal, because he invented it. And then he perfected it so that no living man could best him in the Ring of Honor. To the left! Maggots! Right out! Right out! Then he used his fight money to buy 2 of every animal on Earth. And then he herded them onto a boat, and then he beat the crap out of every single one. Get me up there! And from that day forward, anytime a bunch of animals are together in one place, it's called a zoo. Unless it's a farm.
Nice of the princess to invite us over for a picnic, eh, Luigi? I hope she made lots of spaghetti. Luigi, look! It's from Bowser. Dear pesky plumbers, the Koopalings and I have taken over the Mushroom Kingdom. The princess is now a permanent guest at one of my 7 Koopa hotels. I dare you to find her if you can. We gotta find the princess. And you gotta help us. If you need instruction.
From the
Team Fortress 2 in
real life.
Sandwich.
Get here, cupcake.
Put dispenser here.
That's how I lost my medical license.
Yeah, why don't you come over and say that to my face?
Gentlemen, shall we? Peace.
Built in a century.
mga gamit ko yan ah. Wafer ko yan ah. My original fave. Fave ko na rin.
Yan ang OG Listen Wafer. Sarap ng rich choco wafers in classic size and king size. Anak mo nga. Listen Wafer. Forever sarap ng bonding.
I have face revealed on accident without telling you guys.
I bet you look like an ogre!
Well, kind of. Let me explain.
Shut your trap, Diddy Blood. Nobody wants to hear it.
These past couple of months, I've been hanging out with my good friend Smokey B.
Smokey B? More like stinky butt.
And let's just say it's really easy to recognize her in public.
Well, it's probably easy for everyone to recognize a Diddy or ogre out in public.
I mean, if you see a gay person...
Yay!
with green hair and a Garfield shirt, it is definitely her. Now, here's the problem. I am a faceless YouTuber.
I wonder why you're faceless. Probably because you're an ugly Diddy Blood.
Join the McDonald's Kiddie Crew Workshop Bootcamp Edition. Register at a participating McDonald's store now.
E aí galerinha, beleza? Aqui quem tá falando aqui é o Long Gameplays. Vou fazer uma gameplay aqui de Minecraft. Tá alagando um pouco, é porque eu tô renderizando o vídeo, mas cara, é isso aí. Eu vou ensinar pra vocês a como minerar, tem como ir por baixo da água, pular. O jogo em si é bem legal, mas tem gente que não sabe. Eu tô com a armadura aqui de pedra que brilha aqui. Você pega a picareta, você vai batendo e é isso. Vai batendo, você pode achar vários utensílios, tipo pedra, tipo areia, gelo, tá vendo? Essas coisas assim, pra ficar muito bom. E aí galerinha, aqui quem tá falando é o Long Gameplays, mais uma... Galera, vamos de novo. Então galera, o meu PC não tava aguentando mineirinho, tela cheia. Eu tive que colocar essa porra aqui em modo janela, viado, pra conseguir rodar. E enfim, vamos aproveitar aí a jogatina. Deixa eu só me familiarizar com os botões. Ah, não, meu Deus do céu. Já sabe que o jogo é maravilhoso, enfim. É o Z que pula. Vamos pular aqui com cautela, isso. Ah, mano, que é isso? Vamos pular aqui com cautela. Já tô vendo que tem vários bichos ali, pegar os coraçãozinhos. Tá ligado? Vamos... Sai! Sai! Ó, os caras me estupando! Mano, esse jogo aqui é muito difícil, cara. Meu Deus, tu chega ali embaixo, tá todo mundo te esperando, não tem como tu correr, cara. Olha só, vou tentar pegar um bug. Olha isso aqui! Olha isso, não tem como fazer. Como é que eu fiquei com menos 3 vidas? Como? Mano, na moral, vou jogar sério, eu não vou morrer. Vai tomar no cu, cara. Puta que pariu, que jogo escroto, cara. Ah, você tá de sacanagem, mano. 1.000 milhão de anos depois. Mano, eu já tô ficando estressado com esse jogo. Já finalmente consegui passar daquela parte ali que, meu Deus do céu, você tinha que pegar um hamburgão e matar todo mundo antes que eles chegassem até você. Mas é muito difícil fazer isso. Enfim, vamos pular nessas plataformas aqui, né? Daqui eu tô vendo que tem uma ilhazinha. No caso, a gente só tem que ir lá, é só dar double jump, parceiro. Dando double jump, vai. Aí, pula, não, ele não deu. Galera, eu vou tentar dar um double jump aqui por baixo, vai. Aê, foi, calma. Mano, esse boneco fica escorregando, cara. Vai, pula, ai. Aê, maluco é hack, vai. Calma, pelo amor de Deus, pula. Ai. Consegui. Vai, garoto, calma, na tranquilidade, mineirinho. Na tranquilidade, pula. Não dá, meu Deus, o que tem que fazer? Meu Deus do céu, calma, respira, Luan. Na tranquilidade, aí. Boa, garoto. Aí subimos na montanha, viado. A montanha de madeira, enfim. Vamos indo, tem que ter calma. Tem que ter muita calma aqui, galera, que pelo amor de Deus. Pega os coraçãozinhos, calma, na cautela. Meu Deus do céu. Não escorregou, graças a Deus. Vamos pegar a fase aqui na cautela. Tem um maluco vindo ali, nós vai ter que eliminar. Nossa, sai de perto de mim! Isso, nós vai ter que eliminar, boa. Não dá pra destruir essa porrinha aí, mas enfim, vamos indo, calma. Aí, boa, sai de perto. Aí, sai, boa. Ah, agora fudeu. Vamos indo devagarzinho na cautela. Tem que ser na cautela, garoto. Calma. Ai, não! Ah, tá, recebi só um dano, calma. Aí, boa, garoto. Perdi meu bagulho, mas tá tranquilo. Vamos indo com cautela. Aí, pula, sai. Pula, demônio. Isso, calma. Vai, pula. Cara, tem um castelo agora, viado.
This is fried chicken. And here's one from Food Panda with 100 pesos off.
E aí, galerinha, Aqui quem tá falando com vocês é Long Gameplays, mais uma vez. E hoje, meu parceiro, nós tá aqui com jogaço, viado. Nós tá aqui com Cat Mario. Foi muito pedido nos comentários, eu li muito, joga Cat Mario. Tô jogando aqui pela primeira vez. Desculpa aí a tela tá assim, né? Porque, porra, tu já conhece o Fraps, né? Já das antigas. Não tá gravando a tela de dentro, então tem que jogar na tela de fora. Aí eu vou meter um zoom bolado aí e já era, meu parceiro. Galera, muito obrigado aí. Estamos chegando a 250 mil inscritos, galera. É muita gente. E chega de falar. Vamos jogar, parceiro. Agora o bagulho é Cat Mario. Vamos ver se esse jogo é pica mesmo. Bom, daqui já dá pra ver. Vamos lá. Tranquilo, o botão só são cima, baixo, esquerda, direita. Padrão. Vamos ver aqui, pá. Ó, já dá pra ver que o jogo é troll. No double jump já nós não pega a caixa. Vamos ver aqui. Uma por uma, né, galera? Pra não ter erro. Vamos ver, pá. Ó, eu ganhei moeda, mas não contou. Ó, a gente já viu o macetinho. Vamos matar esse maluco. Ó, moleque, ó o troll. O maluco me joga pra cima, compadre. Mas nós é, ó, eu, com meu conhecimento, vai ter alguma coisa aqui. Alguma coisa vai sair. Deixa eu ver. Opa, foi. Tranquilão, ali não tem nada. Vamos pegar essa parada aqui. Ah, mano. Galera, eu já peguei a manha desse jogo já, parceiro. Onde for, o mais óbvio, ó. Aqui nós já tá ligado que o bagulho cai, então não vai cair mais, que nós é pica, ó. Já era, vamos pegar o cogumelo aqui pra ficar grandão. Não ficou grandão, mas tranquilo. Vamos pular. Ah, não! Galera, aquela parte lá, o macete, a gente dá tipo aquele pulinho e de volta, tá ligado? Pra quando Ah, mano, você tá de sacanagem, não tinha nada aqui! Mano, na moral, tá de prova, viado, o jogo tá roubando. O jogo tá roubando. Se o jogo ficar mudando o puzzle quando eu pular, aí como é que eu vou passar? Não tem como passar, cara. Pô, já tô puto já. Ó, vou tomar distância. Ah lá, sumiu, da outra vez não tinha. Eu tô ficando estressado já com esse jogo, mano. Eu não vou pegar essa porra. Pode vir, otário. Tu acha que eu vou cair nisso, rapá? Eu, hein. Sou pica, meu parceiro. Calma aí, Ah, puta que pariu. Uma bandeira. Meu Deus do céu, eu não sei, não cai nada. Ai! Tá bom, caiu nada. Tranquilidade. Vamos na disciplina aqui. Ai, meu Deus. Em qualquer lugar que você cai nesse jogo, você tem que se preocupar, cara. Ó, não tem nada. Vamos pular aqui na disciplina. Aí na disciplina. Boa, moleque. Aí, GG, fatiou. Já era, meu parceiro. Vambora. Tá. Eu fui burro agora, fui muito burro. Gente, eu não tô conseguindo passar daquela última parte. Cai 4 bagulho e eles caem muito rápido. Não dá tempo de eu desviar, mano. Impossível. Ah, não. Mano, como é que eu vou sair? Mano, como é que eu vou sair daqui? Tá tudo tampado. Gente, eu tô falando que esse jogo tá roubando, cara. Olha isso, mano. Tá que pariu, cara. Olha só, ó. Eu não vou fazer nada, ó. Olha lá, o pontinho sumiu. Eu tô falando, o jogo ele fica... Ai, meu Deus, calma, gente, calma aí, pelo amor de Deus. Ó, tem que ir na cautela. Oh, pelo amor de Deus. Ai. Calma. É agora, finalmente. Vai, moleque, vai. Ah, porra. Aquilo. Não. Filha da porra.
From the #1 multivitamin brand, Centrum Kids Gummies. Multivitamin gummies,
so yummy!
Full of nutrients for growing kids.
Centrum Kids Gummies!
Mahalagang paalala, ang
E aí, galerinha, aqui quem tá falando com vocês é o Low Gameplays, mais uma vez com o jogaço Crash Corrida, meu parceiro. Hoje nós vamos jogar Crash Corrida. Baixei um simulador muito foda de PS1. Nego pediu pra trazer o jogo, eu tô jogando. Peguei em português, ó, hack, viado. Baixei em português no simulador maneiro. Vamos jogar... vai no difícil mesmo. Vamos jogar no difícil. Deixa eu ver. Tem vários personagens. Tem o Crash. Tem o Dr. Neutron. Tem esse bicho aqui. Tem a menininha. Tem o Walking Dead. Tem o jacarezão. E tem o urso polar. Eu não sei se eu vou de jacarezão urso polar. E não. Caraca, como é que pude esquecer dele, Juninho? Esse personagem aqui é muito pica. É o melhor que tem no Crash Corrida. Ele é muito bom. O Juninho é um gatinho muito foda. Eu vou nessa fase aqui que é a minha preferida. E bom, desculpa aí a tela tá assim, porque o Fraps, ele não grava o jogo dentro da tela, ele grava a tela toda. Aí eu tenho que botar isso aí, eu tô gravando com a Tubicat. Não sei se vai aparecer alguma coisa aí, mas enfim. Nós vai jogar aí. E brigadão aí pelos 200 mil inscritos. Estamos chegando a quase 100 milhões. E vamos nessa, galera. Eu vou ensinar vocês o macete que eu tenho aqui, ó. Nós já vai coisando, nós vai ter como? Já vai deslizando. Ó, bota essa caixinha aqui que só o otário que cai. Ó, cadê? Alguém deve ter caído. Só o otário que cai nessa caixinha. Enfim. O macete aí deslizando. Tu vai deslizando. E tu pega o... Caralho, pegou minha caixinha. Tu pega o boost. O boost, pra quem não sabe, é aquele negócio que faz correr rapidão. Bom, vou ensinar o macete pra vocês. Vocês vêm aqui no cantinho. Pulou, você já cortou o caminho, tá ligado? Os caras vão lá por baixo, você já vem aqui por cima e pá. Ali também tem um negócio de caminho ali, ó. Eu vou ensinar pra vocês depois. Então, galera, o macete é só vocês ficar deslizando. Meu Deus! Caraca, cara! Enfim, tá tranquilo, galera. Lembrando que tá no hard. Mas, mano, não tem problema, que nós consegue aí. Nós tá em sexto, mas nós vai chegando. Ó, caralho, o cara pegou meu bagulho de novo, enfim. Não esqueçam de não! Nem fudeu, sai! Porra, caraca, eu caí na minha própria caixa, enfim. Mano, não sei se eu vou conseguir ganhar esse jogo. Vamos andando aí. Cara, a gente tem que fazer 3 turbos. Deixa eu pegar a caixinha. Nós tem que fazer 3 turbos. Passa aí um turbão. Quando saiu, ó, peguei o míssil. Matei o cara, já era. Enfim, vamos indo nessa aí. Ó, pegou os 3 tubos, jogou. Reloginho, esse reloginho aqui deixa os caras com o tremelique, ó. Ficaram com o tremelique, já era, parceiro. Só isso aí, né? Ó, tem como cortar caminho, a gente não pegou velocidade suficiente, nós tá em terceiro. Vamos pulando aí. Passei o jacaré, GG, moleque. Agora é GG. Tamo em primeiro, vamos pegar a caixinha aqui, show. Aí, boa, moleque. Vamos indo. É isso aí, vambora. Ai, meu Deus do céu, ai. O cara tá na minha cola, viado. Os caras tão na minha cola, meu. Sai, jacaré, meu. Eu não vou perder pra tu, jacaré. Tu tá maluco? Não. Tá que pariu. Tá. Vambora. Ele vai se fuder agora. Cadê? Joguei pra trás. Mas enfim, não tem problema. Galera, ele tá na nossa cola. Vou pegar alguma coisa pra atacar nele. Por favor, Macumba Saravá, vem. Aí, foi. Tchau, otário. Galera, vou ensinar vocês a cortar caminho, ó. Pega os 3 tubos e vem por aqui. Vem que a vida é boa. Não. Vai. Ai, me passou, puta que pariu. Vai. Ai. Aí, primeiro. Vai, por favor, pelo amor de Deus. Vai. Vamos ganhar. Ganhamos, porra. Aí, galera, porra. Enfim, muito obrigado aí, galera, pelos 200 mil inscritos. Eu fiquei muito feliz com vocês. E eu quero propor alguma coisa pra vocês aqui. Eu quero fazer respondendo inscritos. E se vocês quiserem, vocês botem aí no comentário, tipo, a gente quer inscrito. Inscrito não. A gente quer o especial de inscrito. Eu vou fazer. E aí eu vou responder vocês no próximo vídeo, tá bom? De especial de 200 mil inscritos. Muito obrigado aí todo mundo que acompanha o Luan Gameplays. E é isso aí, galera. Eu amo todo mundo. E obrigado.
How can hydrogen-powered trucks be part of the mobility transition? Watch the full video to find out.
E aí, galerinha? Aqui quem tá falando com vocês é o One Gameplays mais uma vez. E hoje, galera, tamo aqui com um jogaço, meu parceiro. Tamo aqui com um jogaço Corrida de Animal Silvestre. Enfim, queria agradecer ao Daniel Galvão. Ele chegou lá na Steam, me deu um jogo de presente, falou, na moral, joga esse jogo que é igualzinho como é que é o nome? O Need for Speed Monstro Hunter lá, aquele de PS2 que tu jogou lá. Eu falei, pô, já é. Enfim, tamo aqui já pela já pela tela aqui de início. Ó, se liga, tem a girafona. Deixa eu ver aqui. Cadê? Tem esse hipopótamo aqui, roxão. Cadê? Não tem nome. Tem esse bicho aqui. Tem esse, cara, qual o nome desse bicho aqui, mané? Caraca, não é cavalo não, mano. Ah, enfim. Tem o gatinho. Mano, qual o nome desse bicho aqui, cara? Sei lá, tem um gatinho. Tem um elefantão azul bolado. E tem... Gente, eu não tenho maturidade pra jogar esse tipo de jogo. Vou começar com um gatinho. Olha ele andando. Ai, meu Deus, calma aí. Como é que mexe aqui? Eu tô pelo... Aqui, ó. Tô pelo controle. Cadê? Vamos em rods. Ó! Oh, caralho, é o gráfico, moleque! 1080p! Vamos lá! Vamos lá, é igual aquele crash de corrida, né? Calma aí! Ih, caralho! O controle! Meu Deus, o controle tá... Meu Deus, o controle tá invertido! Meu Deus do céu! Calma aí! Calma aí! Ó, oh, aparentemente não precisa... Caraca, viado! Tá travando aqui! Não precisa apertar o botão de correr pra correr, ele corre sozinho. O X do PlayStation, né? Ele ativa o especial, ó. Cadê? Não peguei, foi sem querer aqui. Enfim, eu tomo em último. Os caras aqui... Meu Deus! Cara, é difícil, porque tá ao contrário, tá? Sabe quando tu bota pra cima e vai pra baixo? Então, eu boto pro lado e vai pro outro. Aqui! Ok! Cadê? Vambora! Vambora, estamos em quarto já! E assim que vai... Ó! Sabe quando tu bota pra cima e vai pra baixo? Então, eu boto pro lado e vai pro outro. Aqui! Ok! Cadê? Vambora! Vambora, estamos em quarto já! E assim que vai... Ó, a primeira volta já, estamos em quarto, hein? Aqui, girafona querendo passar nós. Nós tem que fazer igual no vídeo do Monstro Hunter aqui, ó. Bota pro lado, não deixa cair, parceiro. Aqui, ó. Tem que ser covarde mesmo. Tem que ser covarde, tá ligado? Ó. É isso aí, parceiro. É sobrevivência. Ah! Caraca, mané! Aí, na moral, muito covarde, cara. Olha isso, mano. O cara me jogou lá pro morrinho. Tô em último, galera. Tô em último. Deixa eu ver. Mentira! Olha isso. Olha os bichos todo bugado, meu Deus. Cadê? Ai, meu Deus, casca de banana, seu otário. Aí, é vida cobra! A vida cobra, meu parceiro. Me jogou lá pro lado, rodou agora, seu otário. Cadê? Só vem, parceiro. Cadê? Última volta, hein? Última volta. Ai, meu Deus. É que esse roxinho me jogando pro lado, esse roxinho, que safado. Mano, tô ficando até sem voz, cara. Ai, meu Deus. Tamo em primeiro. Já era, galera. Primeiro não tem caô. Não tem caô. Sai, roxinho. Sai, roxinho. Sai, roxinho. Oh, meu Deus. Ó o rinoceronte. Tu quer dar uma desperta, rinoceronte? Seu otário. Muito otário. Ah, filha da mãe. Vou te pegar. Otário. Roda aí. Roda pra mim. Cadê? Acabou o especial, meu Deus. Cadê? Sai, sai. Sai, mano. Sai. O rinoceronte tá me prendendo. Sai! Sai! Sai, mano! Caraca, não! Ah! Ai, meu Deus! Ih, derrubei o bagulho aqui. Então, galera, fui obrigado a colocar o teclado. Não dá pra jogar no controle, é muito ruim. Enfim, essa aqui a gente vai ganhar, galera. Essa aqui eu tô sentindo. Ó, já pegamos aqueles bagulho, tá ligado? Aqueles filmes lá medieval, tá ligado? Quando aqueles malucos lá tinham aqueles Mario Kart de antigamente, tá ligado? Do tempo dos 300 lá, viado. Enfim. Ah, mentira! Ah, mano, mentira, cara. Todo jogo acontece isso aqui, ó. Pra falar que eu não tô mentindo. O carro não quer sair do lugar. O carro não quer sair do lugar. Eita, eu voltei pro menu, cara. Ah, vai com essa porra mesmo. Enfim. Vamos jogar no mágico. Na fase do mágico. Cara, que fase é essa, meu Deus do céu? Vambora, galera. Vambora. Agora nós tá com o rinoceronte. O gatinho tava bugado, mano. O jogo só bugou com ele. Tamo aqui no tecladinho na moral. Ó, setinha pra lá, pra cá. Não tem caô, galera. Já era aqui. Já tamo em primeiro, tá ligado? Bem mais suave. Aí, ó. Agora está em último. Ai, meu Deus. Vambora. Caraca, esse jogo é muito ruim. Vamos lá, mano. Não tem nada a ver com o Monstro Hunter, cara. Nada a ver, cara. Não tem nem nitro. Se tivesse nitro, pô, era outra história, tá ligado? Era uma jogatina na moral maneira, mas não tem, parceiro. Vamos lá. Aqui, ó. Pelo menos tem esse míssil aqui, ó. Que não acerta nenhum. Pô, aí e quando acerta, o cara te para, mano. Aí, os outros entrando no escape, zoando o vídeo. É isso aí, tá loucura isso aqui. Vambora. Todo mundo vem passando, cara. Ah, mano, essas nuvens aqui. Tu já viu uma nuvem que parece um concreto, um tijolo? Ó, os caras já ganharam. Eu tô na última fase ainda, última volta, mano. Olha isso, cara. Que graça. Ah, mentira. eu tô dando a volta ao contrário, meu Deus. Olha isso, mano. Não é possível, cara. Ah lá, cara. Mano, como é que uma nuvem... Ela eu ia falar gasosa, mas... Porra. Como é que a nuvem, ela é sólida de sabe, tocar a mão? Oh, meu Deus, aí, em último, cara. Que vergonha, na moral, chega. Vamos ganhar uma aí, na moral, velho. Galera, pra finalizar, nós vamos vir aqui nessa fase aqui, lá nos egípcios, tá ligado? E essa fase aqui, parceiro, é a mais difícil desse joguinho aqui. Não tem caô, não tem pra ninguém. Ela é cheia de obstáculos, ó. E eles são, aqui, olha isso. Eles são mais covardes nessa fase aqui, cara. Olha lá, faz assim que é bom, tá ligado? Enfim, galera, eu vou tentar chegar em primeiro nessa fase aqui, eu juro pra vocês que eu tô tentando, mas esse jogo aqui é muito difícil, cara, muito difícil, porque você pode estar em último e... Vamos lá, calma, mano. Respira, não pode passar no quebra-mola aqui, ó, que eu acabei de passar. Não pode passar aqui, porque senão fica bugado. Moleque, esse minimapa é muito feio, cara, olha isso, cara, minha foto é horrível. Vamos lá, galera, pelo amor de Deus, eu preciso ganhar uma, cara. Preciso ganhar, não ganhei nenhuma até agora. Eu joguei, sei lá, uns 5 partidas aqui, cara. Não consegui ganhar nada, mano. Enfim, eu vou tentar pegar aquele foguetão. Ah, mano. Pô, cara. Porque o foguetão, ele me dá uma vantagem, tá ligado? Tipo, eu posso soltar 1 milhão de foguetão enquanto eu tiver, tá ligado? E é melhor assim, vamos lá. A gente tem que ter cuidado com o roxinho e com... Ah, mano, caraca, qual é o meu problema? Meu Deus! Vamos lá, calma. Ó, desviando do quebra-mola, vai desviando. Tamo em quarto, galera, relaxa que dá pra ir, ó. Tem a pirâmide lá, boladão. Enfim, ó. Caraca, eu não consigo desviar desse quebra-mola, meu Deus. Vamos ir. Mano, esse especial aqui é o mais inútil que tem, olha aqui. Não faz nada, você vira um big gigante e nada. Você não explode, você não gruda ninguém. Enfim, e mentira, eu tô em primeiro. Ai, meu Deus, calma aí. Ah lá, não explode esse big. Enfim. Vamos indo, pelo amor de Deus. Moleque, tô nervoso já. Pelo amor de Deus. Cadê? Primeirão. Calma, meu Deus, tá acabando a fase. Primeirão. Nossa, sai, big. Primeirão. Vamos lá. Ai. Aí. Oi. Que mentira.
Our best ever idol hot dog. So meaty, so juicy, so sulit pa!
Popping Ubercharge, revving your minigun, detonating your stickies. Ew. These are all TF2 based euphemisms to describe that mystical dance between man and woman that always leads children to the worst of places. I happened to have some spare time on my hands the other day, so as a straight man with a wife, I did what literally anyone else would do in my situation. And spend actual units of time I will never get back going through the comics, in-game descriptions of items, and the official Valve animations to see who of our beloved TF2 mercs have captured someone else's objective. If you'd like to help make my pleads for salvation at the pearly gates easier, you could consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 8 billion subscribers before the end of the year, so if you'd like to be a part of that cause, I'd really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, after this one you can check out this playlist on my channel which features lots of other like-minded content. There's some silly stuff and there's also some genuinely good stuff, so there's something for everyone. Now continuing on with the video, we'll start by covering the mercs who we know for a fact have marketed someone else's garden. Oh, I really don't like that one actually. These mercs are Spy, obviously, Soldier, and surprisingly enough, Scout. Starting with the most obvious one first, Spy is a man who has been making baguettes longer than Scout has been alive, and in fact his frequent champagne popping with Scout's mother ended up making him a father. So there we are, Spy is our first winner in the game of Shag. And speaking of winners, let's move on to Soldier. So to my surprise, not a lot of people have really read the TF2 comics, and I guess it makes sense. If you go to play a shooting game, you go to play a shooting game, but I love the comics, I think they're great. And in the third installment in the overarching series called A Cold Day in Hell, we are introduced to Zana. Zana is one of Heavy's sisters, and is someone who has been trapped in a wooden cabin up in the mountains of Siberia ever since she was a young girl. So when Heavy brings Soldier, Pyro and Scouts back home with him, Zana sees Soldier and, well, rocket jumping ensues. And for the rest of the overarching series, it's played for jokes that their relationship is built on the fact that they're both completely insane and America exists. So yes, Soldier has a fiancée, and also has plans to do this. So, oh hey, look, a transition, let's talk about Scout. So believe it or not, Scout Scattergun has seen more use than you'd think it would have. I mean, they do call him the Maker after all. In terms of definitive proof of Scout getting up to it, we have this one scene from Expiration Dates, which I'm just gonna play.
No, I am great with girls. We both got buckets of chicken. You want to do it?
Okay.
And that's all the proof we need, really. So, despite all his scoutness, his atomizer has had more than a few jumps. Which I guess makes sense because, you know, this meme. Now, as for our remaining mercs, we have 2 left to talk about in tandem, and then the rest of them we have absolutely no evidence for one way or the other, so we're going to have to start making some guesses. And if you stick around long enough, I'll throw in some bonus characters from the comics and wider TF2 series as a whole at the end. But in order for me to do that, you see these numbers here? Fix them. Fix them. Fix these numbers! So the 2 mercs we're going to talk about together are Demoman and Medic. Not a pairing you often see put together, yet when answering the question of who has popped Ubercharge between these 2, we have one domination voice line from Demo to take a look at.
Dominated! And I've been shagging your wife!
If what Demo is saying is not just a drunken rant, and is in fact true, that means that Medic has a wife, and Demo has been shagging her. I don't really know what to add to this. I so desperately want this to be true because that would be really, really funny. Yet we've had absolutely no mention of Medic's personal love life whatsoever, and Demo is always drunk, so this very well could just be the drunken ramblings of a Scotsman. But do you know what? If I just denied this as drunken ramblings, the sheer amount of hate I would have gotten would be absurd. So just for that, I'm counting this as canonical proof that Medic has a wife and that Demo has been doing you-know-what with her. I am so tired. So we are now left with the 4 mercs we have absolutely no evidence to suggest one way or another have pushed the payload to its final objective. So we're going to have to guess whether they have or haven't purely based on their personalities. Let's start off with Sniper. So off the bat with Sniper, I'm going to tell you that I do not believe he has ever hitman someone else's heatmaker. That's even worse than the Market Garden one. And then I'm going to spend the rest of this section telling you why. So, as I literally just said, I don't think Sniper ever has. Now I understand being a probably late 40s man in the 70s and not doing something like that is quite unusual, but I have some evidence to back this up. Evidence of course coming in the form of his personality. We learn from the TF2 comic Blood in the Water that Sniper doesn't actually come from Australia and is in fact an adopted baby from New Zealand. We find this out at the same time as he does, and his reaction to finding out all of this seems to make a lot of sense to him. For example, he says he never really fit in with the other kids doing fistfights, instead choosing to jump up in trees and throw rocks at them. And he also says that he was never able to grow Australian-shaped chest hair. So it seems that even as a child, Sniper really was quite a loner. He never really felt like he fit in, and it seems others felt that about him as well. I feel these events eventually led him to become a Sniper because even in the TF2 scene, he is quite distant from the other mercs, which fits his job pretty well. And it's because of his never fitting in with anyone else around him as a child, which led him to have quite a distant personality, which led him to be a Sniper, a very solo job, that I don't believe he ever would have had the opportunity to sharpen his kukri. Again, middle-aged man in the 70s, he very well could have. But purely going off the evidence of his personality and the comics, I don't have anything to support that. So I am saying that Sniper is our first virgin. It only took us 5 minutes and 30 seconds to call a merc as such, but I believe Sniper is. And I also believe that it wouldn't really bother him one way or the other. Let's...
Ang hirap naman painumin.
Scott's vitamin C is the one for me. Help support my immunity. Delicious, the one for me. So yummy, so fruity. Scott's vitamin C.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Scott's Vitamin C Pastilles ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Let's talk about NG next. So as I did with Sniper, I'm more likely to give the mark of the V-card to the mercs who often spend a lot more time alone or away from other people. And Engineer is definitely a man who seems to spend a lot of time on his own tinkering with his own toys. Not only do we know that Engineer has an extensive educational background, but we also know that he currently spends most of his time making things. And if you fill in the gaps, that doesn't really seem to leave a lot of time for other things. So currently, the odds aren't looking in his favour, and they don't get any better when we take a look at the comics. NG rarely appears in the comics, but by far his most important appearances are those in the overarching story comics, where we learn that ever since the mercs originally disbanded, Engineer has pretty much spent all of that time building life extender machines for the Administrator. That's about 6 months of just building his own contraptions, which I imagine he does a lot, which I imagine probably doesn't mean he has a lot of time for other things. And so I would like to declare that despite all of his century wrangling, I don't think the Engineer has ever been shown some southern hospitality. Again, like with Sniper, I just don't have any evidence to suggest that he ever has based on his personality, but we have a lot more evidence to suggest that he basically spends all of his time engineering, which you'd think after all of this time he'd be engineering his limit on, but again, doesn't really seem to bother him. And speaking about shorties, our penultimate character for the main mercs is Pyro. So it is very well hinted at this point in time that Pyro is the woman, and it is just as hinted at that Pyro is probably sane, and in fact Pyro Vision itself is the problem, and I may or may not have a video on these two topics coming up in the future, you never know. But ignoring all of that, do I think that Pyro's oomph meter has ever been filled? Okay, that is by far the worst one in this video. Well, it's not a very easy question to answer. To answer this question, we'd need to know when Pyro first put the Pyrovision goggles on, how long Pyro has been wearing them for, and what Pyro was doing before the Pyrovision goggles came into play, and we have absolutely no idea for any of those questions what the answer could be. So, we're gonna say no. We're gonna say Pyro never has. Because what am I supposed to do? We know absolutely nothing about Pyro. Not his age, not his gender, not where he comes from, not his race, nothing. And so I'm getting angry over nothing. Right, we're calling it Virgin, and we're moving on. We're moving on to the final of our mercs, Heavy. So it seems that Heavy probably hasn't had the best of lives at... Oh, I'm getting a call from my wife. I hope she's okay with the fact that I'm talking about fictional men's sexualities. Anyway, we learn from the comics that Heavy probably hasn't had the easiest of lives. In fact, his entire family had been imprisoned in a Russian gulag because his father was a counter-revolutionary. And whether you want to consider it canon or not, we also learn a bit about his childhood from Poker Night at the Inventory. From how he talks about boxing in Poker Night at the Inventory, it's either very likely he went to an all-boys school, or at a certain age the boys and girls were split into their various gender roles. So whilst everything may be leading to him being a no, I'm just going to play this one clip from Poker Night at the Inventory in full for you.
You have woman?
Not with me, no. But yeah, I have woman.
She is pretty?
Yeah, cute, glasses, red hair.
She has the red hair?
No, Heavy. She is not on the other team. You don't have to kill her.
No, but I love the red hair.
Well, you can't have her either. Maybe we can work something out.
So, Heavy and Tycho's wife work something out most likely. So, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, let's say Heavy's a Chad as well. It's either that, or I have to now make a bunch of low-hanging fruit jokes about how Heavy and his minigun have a relationship. So that's it for our core gaggle of mercs. However, as previously promised, we'll now cover a few reoccurring side characters. We'll do this in a bit of a lightning round style, but I want to first thank you for making it this far into this video. Comment down below Heavy the Chad to show me you made it this far into the video, and I'll be sure to like your comment. And with that being said, let's start with the most reoccurring of all reoccurring characters, that being Miss backpedaling. Now, when talking about Miss Tarpauling in this context, I'm of course going to have to bring up that one tweet by Jay Pinkerton. Now, for those who don't know, Jay Pinkerton, one of the official writers for the TF2 comics, made a now deleted tweet saying that they had plans to make Miss Peeling a lesbian in the upcoming comics. Now, I'm personally not a man who considers deleted tweets to be canonical proof of a character's sexuality, because no one should, but considering how the 7th comic is currently in production, I would be quite interested to see where this potentially goes. But considering her interactions with both the men and the women in the comics, for now we're going to say that Miss Ping Pong has never written on someone else's clipboard. We'll cover the Administrator and Saxton Hale next, because we know that both of these characters have been the man to someone else's co. In fact, they've also been the man to each other's co, evidenced as by this panel in the comics here. Now, if we're talking actual mans, we have the Mann brothers to discuss next. Now, the Mann brothers meet up in the comic Blood Brothers to discuss that they've wasted their entire lives bickering over nothing. And then they both decide that they're going to build a machine to do this. But of course they're killed before they have the chance. But just taking this as evidence, I think it's safe to assume that they haven't ever done anything with anyone before. And the last of the Mann brothers and the last of the characters we'll be covering today is Grey Man. And this is an easy one because he has a daughter. So we're just going to assume he has. And that's going to be all the characters we cover in this video. As you could probably tell, this was a video brought about by hours of missed sleep due to me being unwell. So I'm sorry if my voice sounded a little bit different in this video. But I've been working on this for so long that I'm starting to get better now. So whoop-de-doo. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. One final thank you from me for watching, and I will see you later down the sunny road.
Hi, I'm Paul. Aw, my
Paul?
Hi, we're Paul.
Hola, soy Pablo.
So what do you want me to say now? Hi, line.
Got a blast.
Join the Pediasure Plus Growth Watch to check if your child's growth is on track with the growth calculator.
Meet King Charles, not the monarch, but a shaggy dog who somehow commands more respect than any royal. He doesn't bark, doesn't growl, doesn't flex any muscles. He just walks up, gently places his paw on another dog, and suddenly the chaos stops. That's the kind of aura we're dealing with. The videos started on Chinese TikTok, but it wasn't until they hit Instagram that the internet gave him his legendary name, King Charles. Why? Because this dog acts like royalty. In one clip, even a massive cane corso bows his head when King Charles walks by. One commenter said it best, "Cane corso, bows my liege." Others called him the dog with the most aura on the planet. And here's the wild part. King Charles doesn't look like a fighter. He's not jacked, not aggressive, not even that big. But when he shows up, dogs that were seconds away from tearing each other apart suddenly freeze, like someone just turned off the volume. He doesn't dominate with force, he dominates with vibes. Now people are obsessed. They're Googling what breed he is, hoping to find that one alpha dog who keeps the peace. Everyone wants a dog like King Charles, the kind who doesn't need to growl to be in charge. He just exists and everyone else falls in line. He really is the king, not of England, but of every dog park on earth. No muscle, no noise, just straight up dominance. That's alpha energy.
How can investing in hydrogen-powered transport
lower the impact of my deliveries?
How can building the next generation of semi-autonomous hydrogen-powered trucks
Help me lower my carbon footprint?
By continually asking how, with Hyperview, we're changing the way we think about logistics.
Another day asking how.
Another day moving in the right direction.
Our blend, Jollibee Iced Mocha. Get that vibe with our blend of rich coffee and creamy chocolate that just hits different.
It's a vibe.
Period. Jollibee Iced Mocha. Try it.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope cellophane flowers of yellow and green towering over your head. Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes and she's gone. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Follow her down to a bridge by a fountain where rocking horse people eat marshmallow pies. Everyone smiles as you drift past the flowers that grow so incredibly high. Newspaper taxis appear on the shore, waiting to take you away. Climbing the station with plasticine pauses with looking glass ties. Suddenly someone is there at the turnstile, the girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. 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 Lucy in the sky with
Times are hard, you're afraid to pay the fee, so you find yourself somebody who can do the job for free. When you need a bit of loving, cause your man is out of town, that's the time you get me running, and you know I'll be around. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't wanna do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. Light the candle, put the lock upon the door. You have sent the maid home early like 1,000 times before. Like the castle in its corner in a medieval game, I foresee terrible trouble, and I stay here just the same. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't wanna do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't wanna do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't wanna do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah.
Stomping time! Rush!
Bilib ako sa tripleng lakas ng Birchly Fortified.
Luke! Luke! I am an orange.
Whoa! It's Jabba the Hutt!
Jabba the what now? No, I think you're...
All mixed up? Nope, that's you, Jabba.
I feel like I pulled a muscle in there.
Hey! Hey, Doughboy!
What? What?
Did you lick the beaters, or did the beaters lick you?
Oh, would you just shut up?
Yeah, I guess that's the yeast I could do. Hey! Hey, Doughboy!
Hey, can it, Fruit for Brains!
Hey, Doughboy!
What?
Rolling pin! Whoa! Well, that's just flat out wrong. Ooh, ow! Hey, have you tried wiggling?
Of course I have. It's no use. I'm stuck.
Oh, hey, what if we greased you in butter?
I am greased in butter.
Ugh, too much information, dude.
This is the worst day ever.
Hey, what's going on over there? Uh-oh.
What? What is it?
Nothing.
That didn't sound like nothing.
Oh, no! Ah! Ah, no!
It's hot.
Yuck, you should take a shower. You look all crusty.
If by crusty you mean golden brown. I tell you, Orange, that oven was the best thing that ever happened to me. I feel firm, like I could take on the world.
I don't know. You look like a loafer to me.
You think I'm full of hot air? Huh?
Knife! Well, don't worry, Loaf. I'm sure that'll heal.
Oh no, this is gonna hurt! Ah, my face!
Ooh, ow!
Ah, my face!
Stupid heel, where'd he go?
Can't move my face.
Whoa, dude, I think you're toast.
Oh, this is not good.
Man, you're really having a crummy day.
Is it hot in here or is it just me?
I don't know, let's ask Butter.
Huh?
Ah!
My face! My beautiful face!
Talk about a smear campaign. Jeez, it's not like I'm trying to butter you up or anything. Hey, heel!
What?
Knife! Again! Poor Jabba the Loaf heel. I really liked him. I'd send him flowers, but they're already here. Hey, flowers!
Make it stop.
So then I said, the only way to stop him is with flower power.
Kill me now.
So, I got the shit kicked out of me. I made a video talking about my decision to never have kids. Like, parenting is just not for me. And my audience beat the hell out of me. Because this is how people react when you tell them you don't want kids. Wait till you get to your 60s. You will regret it. That video was lame, bro. Why even post that? See, these are the responses I got. Yikes, that's so sad and stupid at the same time. Why? Why do people feel so personally attacked by my life choices? What a dumbass. I've always liked this guy, but I lost all respect. That's okay, sir. Your respect isn't worth anything. Absolute asshole. Remember, all I did was make a video explaining why I don't want to be a parent. I didn't trash parenting. It's just why I don't want to do it. Tell me you're a loser without telling me you're a loser. Grow the f*** up, LOL, you crybaby b****. Imagine being a man and being so uncontrollably upset that another man doesn't. Disappointed with such a selfish and lame set of opinions. Thing is, people like you don't deserve to have kids. Some people are just too self-centered and narcissistic to have the privilege to have kids. Sir, do you cry yourself to sleep at night over the thought of me not wanting to be a parent? Get a hobby, man. Don't lie. The reason you don't want kids is you're afraid they'll be taller than you. You don't want to get mistaken as a third grader. Okay, not gonna lie, this one is actually kind of true. Think about it. What if your parents said the exact same thing? Then you wouldn't be here right now. Is this supposed to be some kind of gotcha? Ha! If my parents didn't have kids, then I wouldn't exist and I wouldn't care. Bro, it's your duty. You must. It's every human's duty. Okay, how about I decide what is my duty in life? Like, shouldn't I get to decide that? L. Imagine ending your bloodline because you're too scared. Pathetic. Sir, why are you worried about bloodlines? Like, what are you, from the 1400s? I can already tell from your comment that there is nothing spectacular in your bloodline. You're a sad little man. Your wife would be most upset with you for depriving her from having kids. What makes you think my wife wants kids? It's a little sexist to assume every woman wants to be a parent. You didn't need to make a video with so many excuses. You could simply say that you are mediocre, selfish, and ungrateful. Sorry for being harsh, but it is what it is. And I'm sorry to tell you that this will only give you loneliness and unhappiness. Just reminding you all that these are my fans. Like, these aren't some random trolls from the internet. Some of these people are people who've watched me for years. Have them, or your life will be ruined! In all caps. No, sir, you see, that's the reason why I'm not having them. Just say you're scared and can't hack it and call it a day. You act like kids don't make you happy. They do! Well, they don't make me happy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you don't get to decide what makes me happy. You f***ing selfish left-winger b****. And then there's this idiot who somehow managed to make childbearing political. You're gonna die alone! Selfish as f***. Such a loser statement. Sorry, boy! Coward! And this person typed a whole ass TED Talk telling me if I ever accidentally had a kid, I would change my mind. Change my mind, huh? Yeah, okay. And what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong and I'm stuck with a kid I don't want for the rest of my life? There are countless amounts of people out there who end up having kids accidentally and they don't want them and they never want them and they never change their minds. I mean, look at all the deadbeat dads in the world. Did they all change their minds once they had a kid? So the whole like, oh, you'll change your mind, that's an argument I hear a lot, and that's just not a gamble I'm willing to take. So why am I showing you all these shitty comments? Well, I'm doing this to show you this is the way people normally talk to you when you tell them that you don't want kids. Like, they immediately turn into the world's biggest and they've done this to me my whole life. It's actually crazy how defensive they get. And here's the thing, I'm a man. Women have it much worse. My wife tells people she doesn't want kids. They're like, oh, I'm unfollowing. Imagine if the opposite were true. Imagine someone tells you they're having a baby and you're like, oh, I'm unfollowing. God, you're gonna regret that when you're 60. And by the way, shout out to the fans who did support me on this. A lot of people did support me, but there were enough people who didn't that I thought it was worth bringing up. But here's the most important thing I'll say about all this. If you don't ever want kids or you don't ever want to be a parent, that's okay. And there is absolutely nothing wrong
Scaredy cat. Yeah. Scaredy cat. Yeah.
Intruder alert! Yes, is in the base! Yes, is in the base! Protect the briefcase! We need to protect the briefcase! Yo, need to help him! Stand back, son! Run! Let's go! Income! Hey, it's still here! Gentlemen! I see the briefcase is safe and sound. It is yeah to me. Did anyone happen to kill? Yes, out the way here. No. Then we still have a problem. And big problem. I can't into our space. The time of backstabbing comebacks like you. No offense. If you managed to kill him, you they were not like me. And nothing like the man loose inside this body was you president of his fan club. No. That will be your mother. Welcome with the indeed. And now he's here to come down us. So listen up, boy. Staying your mother will be the second worst thing to happen to you today. Get me that? This house already reached for defense is yeah, ow. And worse of all, he could be in one of us. He could be in this very room. He could be you. He could be me. He could be me. Whoa. What? It was us. He's the red spot. Watch. He'll turn red in each second now. In each second now. See red. No wait. That's good. So we still got problem. Big problem. Alright. Who's ready to go? This is behind you.
Bikinis on top, sun-kissed skin so hot, will melt your popsicle. California girls were undeniable, fine, fresh.
Move out! Let's go, fuck him up! Oh my fucking god, stop mic spamming! Shut up!
Mute your mic, bro. I can't fucking hear myself think.
Dude, mind your own damn business. Shut the fuck up, mate. Shut up! Oh my goodness gracious, shut up!
Holy fucking shit, finally. I got you, bro.
I got you.
No, spare me, please!
Oh, it's fucking heavy!
Let's go, fuck him up!
Stop!
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation. Come here. Move out to California, do what I want, cause I can. If I don't, because I wanna. Be ignored by the stiff and the bored, because I'm gonna. Hate to say I told you so. Alright. Do believe I told you so. Now it's all out on YouTube. before, but it bears repeating now. Last night, she said, oh baby, don't you feel so down? When you turn me on, when I feel left out. So what'd you do? Well, I turned around. Oh baby, gonna be alright. It was a great big lie, 'cause I left that night. Yeah. The sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let it flow into me. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Madness is the gift that has been given to me. We're the renegades of funk. 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 Let it all come out. This time I'ma stand up and shout. I'ma do things my way. It's my way. My way or the highway. This time I'ma let it all come out. This time I'ma stand up and shout. I'ma do things my way. It's my way or the highway. But I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. I can see through you. See your true colors. 'Cause inside you're ugly. Ugly like me. I can see through you. See to the real you. Ball with the bada bang, da dang, diggy, 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 set the boogie, set up, jump the boogie. Ball with the bada bang, da dang, diggy, 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 set the boogie, set up, jump the boogie. We are, the youth of the nation. We are, the youth of the nation. We are, the youth of the nation. We are the youth of the nation. Hey! I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating, so won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up, please stand up. 'Cause I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating, so won't the real Slim Shady please